All right, it's the first sea day on board the Independence of the Seas. Had a great second day in Nassau. Check out the video all about Margaritaville and their water park if you're interested. Had a okay dinner last night. Service is always great in the main dining room. Crew's great, but food was pretty bland. It wasn't inedible, but it was just very bland. I got the chicken parmesan. It was Italian night, and there's like no sauce on it, and it's just like plain old spaghetti, like very, very uninspiring. So tonight is formal night. I don't really have a ton of formal gear with me. I think I'm going to go for one of the specialty restaurants. I'm going to check that on the app and see what is able to be booked. And then from there, this morning we got a lot of activities. We got the Crown and Anchor event. We got Love and Marriage later this afternoon. A bunch of other things happening around the ship. Going to go into the sauna, hang out. So it's going to be a busy sea day. Busy sea day. Come on along.
If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. If you love cruise content, travel content in general, we got tons of content coming your way. Content. So plan for the day is to grab a little bit of a windjammer breakfast here, something quick. I do love the hash browns that they serve here. That's probably my favorite item on the Royal Caribbean menu for breakfast in the windjammer. One little tip here is the specialty restaurants on the Freedom class ships are open for breakfast, like for seating. Chops Girl's actually closed off for Pinnacles during this sailing, but Giovanni's is available. A lot of people just don't have any idea that there's actually seating in there open for you to use. And then next up is going to be my top tier event. As a newly minted Emerald, I'm going to go attend to this and meet the captain and meet the cruise director, and they always plan something a little special from the entertainment team, which is really fun, so I'm excited to see what they do on board.
Been cruising the Royal Caribbean before? Okay. Who has been cruising?
Port of call is Tahiti and Sydney with 1,582 cruise points this sailing. May I call on Miss Mimi Herman.
So the top tier event was really cool. Free drinks, which is always great. Always cool to see how many cruises the top tier cruisers have actually done. Just really, a nice little event that they put on for about an hour for those that have cruised with Royal, a bunch of which now I am one of them. For lunch, I wanted to try Fish and Chips, which is only on Independence of the Seas and I believe Ovation of the Seas. This is going to be the poolside restaurant. I got some fried shrimp, which were pretty good, is included in the cruise fare, so no complaints really from me. Not something I'm going to get every day. One of my favorite events on any cruise, Royal Caribbean or not, is going to be the Love and Marriage game show. It's where they pit three couples against each other, one newlywed, one that's been married for a little bit, and the oldest married couple in the audience usually. And they always answer some pretty funny questions. It's a blast. I will say this guy made it interesting, though, in that he proposes to his girlfriend on stage during the Love and Marriage game show, or right before. He kind of, I think vamped a little bit too much for the audience, but it was pretty funny, and congrats to the couple.
Anyways, Bernie, I've been serving for 9 years. This woman alone has been with me for 3. She's been my rock, my boulder, my anchor, the one that picks me up after I drink too much. And yesterday, yes. And there's no one I ever want to be with besides you. So I'm getting down on one knee to ask you, will you continue being my best friend, my love of my life, my boulder, my anchor, my rock, the person that picks me up after I drank too much? Will you be my wife?
Next up was trivia, which I didn't win, but it was a lot of fun. Love trivia on board any Royal Caribbean ship and love hanging out in the schooner bar. For dinner, I decided, you know what? There's one spot open for hibachi. Let's do hibachi. Now, I will say the price of hibachi has just skyrocketed. This was about 80 bucks out the door, including tip. The quality of the food was great, though, and the chef was one of the best chefs that I've had. Very entertaining, a lot of new jokes. Kind of like the Jungle Cruise at Disneyland. Like, you know some of the jokes going in, and that's kind of what you want to hear, but a few new ones mixed in there is always great. Really good food, though. They include, edamame. They got fried rice. They got hibachi vegetables. They have a nice little salad. I always go for the shrimp and the New York strip steak. A really good option there. So just know it's not necessarily any cheaper than like Benihana on shore. In fact, I think it's maybe a little bit more expensive. But it is a good show and a lot of fun.
It's so hot, 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 hot. Problems, you die. I'm just kidding. It's a joke. More baby oil. Fire. Boom. Japanese trip. Put small amount again. Yeah. Señorita Ariana, more rice. More rice, more sex. More vegetable, Jordan. Vegetable. Wow. How many is our teriyaki sauce? I do both.
And as we sailed towards Falmouth, Jamaica, I could spot Cuba off in the distance, which is always pretty cool. And tonight was the night of the Crazy Quest, so I did want to check that out before heading to Falmouth in the morning. If you haven't done the Crazy Quest, I do recommend doing it. It's definitely a more adult experience, but a lot of fun. So we will see you in Falmouth tomorrow. In port with us is going to be the Odyssey of the Seas, which is cool to see in person. I'm excited to check out Falmouth. I've never actually visited this port. As I mentioned earlier in my vlog series on this cruise, my original excursion to the Green Grotto Caves was actually canceled, so I had to choose something else. So we're going to go see how they make rum. So I'm excited to go check out this awesome rum distillery. It had high ratings, and I'm excited to have my day on shore. See you then.